What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the J All Day Show. We normally do NFL on this channel, but today we're going to be discussing my predictions for UFC 318, the final dance for Dustin Poirier. He's taking on Max Holloway in the main event. So we're going to go through all 5 of these main card fights. I'm going to give you my picks and predictions for each and every one of these fights. We're kicking it off on the main card. Michael Johnson, ironically, one of the few guys to actually knock out Dustin Poirier in his career, taking on Daniel Selhuber. A lot younger of a guy, 39 for Michael Johnson, 26 years of age for Daniel. Yo, Selhuber, he gets hit a lot, man. Really long guy, super lengthy, that 77-inch reach. He's got long legs, can kind of keep you at distance with those long limbs, right? But in his last fight, he got touched up a lot, rocked a lot. Yeah, these odds are pretty crazy. Minus 650 juice on this Daniel dude who gets rocked a lot. That's crazy price to be paying. So, you know what? I'm rolling with the underdog here, man. The veteran. I'm going Michael Johnson to win this fight. I think he's going to clip him. And he's going to hurt him and he's going to put him away. There's one thing that Michael Johnson can do is still punch like a son of a bitch. The dude blasts people. He's won 3 out of his last 4 fights, you know. Looking okay, considering he's, 39 years of age. But Selhuber got in a dust-up in his last fight, and it was a straight battle, man. Battle. There are some good prelim fights. I like this Allen Vittori fight. That's a shame that it's not on the main card. But yeah, I'm going to go with Michael Johnson here, guys. I'm taking the underdog. Do I ultimately think he's going to win? It's probably a 50-50 fight. It's definitely not a minus 650 plus 425 comeback kind of fight, man. So that's why I'm going to go with Michael Johnson and the plus 400 juice. Yo, Michael Johnson gets a dub here, guys. Next up, we got Dan Ige taking on Patricio Pitbull. Yeah, this is a very geriatric UFC card, man. I love the main event. But, man, a lot of these guys are mid-30s to late 30s. Not great. Yeah, Pitbull's 38, Ige's 33, Michael Johnson's 39, Kevin Holland and Rodriguez are both in their 30s, Costa and Coppola both 34. What is going on? Can we get some youth in this poop pup? What is going on, guys? I like Dan Ige in this fight. He's younger, hungrier guy. Pitbull looked like the lights kind of got to him in his last fight. Taking on Yair Rodriguez is no, easy fight in your first UFC outing, right? But, the dude has got a 4-inch reach disadvantage. Dan Ige's a dog, man. He's got bombs in his hands. I'm probably saying this fight goes the distance. I just think Pitbull got to the UFC too late. He got overwhelmed by the UFC. He looked stale and flat in his last fight. And Dan Ige will make you pay. I'm going Dan Ige to win this fight, guys. I think he's just a better overall fighter. He's got really good hands. Their games are pretty similar if you take a look at their takedown accuracy, takedown average. Patricio Pitbull's not a takedown kind of guy. I think this is going to be a meet you in the middle type of fight. Kind of a kickboxing match, and I like Dan Ige in a fight like that for sure. So Dan Ige gets the W. Next up, we got a welterweight matchup between Kevin Holland and Daniel Rodriguez. Rodriguez, 38 years of age. Kevin Holland is sporting a 7-inch reach advantage, and that's going to come up huge in this fight because Rodriguez is pretty much just a boxer, right? Not great kicks, okay kicks, but for the most part, he's just going to want to stand and trade with you in the middle. And Kevin Holland has just way more ways to win. He's sneaky, got good jiu-jitsu, pretty solid submissions, those long limbs. If you get your neck, he's going to lock it up, man. So I'm going Kevin Holland to win here. I'm going to go by submission. He's going to hurt him, get him on the ground, put him away. I like Kevin Holland in this spot. Daniel Rodriguez is on the wrong side of 30. And Rodriguez is a very one-dimensional fighter. I like Kevin Holland in this spot by submission. I'm saying round 2. I like that spot for Kevin Holland. The juice at minus 475, I don't love that. I'm probably not going to be betting on this fight, but, I think Kevin Holland gets it done, guys. Then we got the co-main event. Paulo Costa, Roman Kopylov, 2 other guys in their mid-30s, right? Listen, Costa is fought the best of the best. Kopylov, this is a big step up in competition, in my opinion. Roman Kopylov is a killer, though, man. He's got that killer be killed kind of mentality. He's won 4 out of his last 5 with that submission coming from Hernandez. But this is a huge step up in competition with Paulo Costa. And this is kind of a shit or get off the pot situation for Paulo Costa, who's dropped 4 out of his last 5 fights, guys. He only has that 1 win over Luke Rockhold. Lost to Vettori, Adesanya, Whitaker, and Strickland. Top of the food chain guys. But if he loses this fight, Costa's career is probably pretty much down the drain. So he needs to come up with a big win here in a big spot. So that's why I'm going to take Paulo Costa in this fight. It's a 3-round fight, which, probably benefits Kopylov a little bit more. But I like what Paulo Costa can do. But he's got to get busy, and he's got to get busy early. If he's going to let this fight take place in front of him, he's going to lose this fight. Because sometimes Costa kind of gets mesmerized by the guys he's fighting and doesn't really become aggressive enough to kind of win these fights. So you know what? Actually, I'm flipping. I'm going to Kopylov to get it done. I think Kopylov's going to come out a little more aggressive, and I think that aggressiveness is probably going to win him a decision. I'm going to go 29-28 decision for Roman Kopylov. I just like talking this fight out. I just like, okay, Paulo Costa just like, I don't know if he's got that tiger in him anymore, and Kopylov definitely's got the dog in him for sure. And maybe he even takes Paulo Costa down. He's got more ways to win, Kopylov does. 29-28 decision. And then our main event of the evening. Let's clap it up for Dustin Poirier, guys. Clap it up for Dustin Poirier. What an incredible career. One of my favorite fighters of all time. Never got that undisputed belt, but still one of the most entertaining fighters to ever grace the octagon. Tremendous southpaw guy. Pretty solid submission, pretty solid ground game, excellent boxing. 36 years of age. This is his swan song versus Max Holloway at 155 pounds. 26-8 for Holloway, 30-9 for Dustin Poirier. Poirier's got a little bit of a reach advantage, probably a little bit of a size advantage as well. Advantage on the ground. Boxing, very similar. But in this fight, Max Holloway poses no threat on the ground at all whatsoever. So during this training camp, Poirier can just solely focus on his boxing and getting out of range and sticking with that jab, kind of keeping Max Holloway on the outside, kind of peppering him with shots. I think that's how this fight plays out. When you have no ground attacks at all whatsoever, he doesn't really have like big time elbows either. His kicks are pretty limited as well, in my opinion. So Dustin Poirier is a more well-rounded fighter. He's just a better fighter. That's why he's won the first 2 fights, in my opinion. The first one was so early in Holloway's career, his first fight in the UFC. So you just throw that one out there. I think the last fight that happened a few years back is going to be similar to how this fight plays out on the feet. Dustin Poirier at plus money, I'm taking that all day long to the bank. I'm going probably a decision. And I think it's going to go all 5 rounds. It's going to be a dogfight. You know what I mean? It's going to be like I think it's going to be like a 49-46, 48-47 type of deal here, guys. So I'm going Dustin Poirier by decision. There it is, guys. Dustin Poirier by decision. Kopylov by decision. I'm going Kevin Holland by submission. I'm going Dan Ige by decision. And I'm going Michael Johnson with the surprise KO, guys. If you want more NFL content, more MMA content, more just general sports content, there's no better channel than the J All Day NFL Show. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.